Excel, Tableau, sticky notes. What's your data weapon of choice?
I love a good Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, tell me why.
There's so much you can do with them. I love a good pivot table. There's just a lot.
Yeah. Now, I'm someone who typically gets overwhelmed by the number of data points that come at me as a school leader, right? There's data on attendance, data on test scores. There are subcategories within groups. How do you help leaders really embrace a culture of data and data decision making in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming and impossible?
So I actually work for a school.
Okay.
So our school has tons of data, lots and lots of data. So it's all about figuring out what matters and what makes the most difference to our students, our parents, and what's going to make the difference, and really figuring out the best way to break it down.
Yeah. What data point do you think people often either misinterpret the most or don't really consider the most?
That's a hard one. There's so many different things that I think people don't take into consideration. I don't think people take into consideration, people are so focused on state test, attendance data, all of that. So I like the things that you can look at while the kids are in school. So we do a lot of student engagement data, and that's our favorite thing. And then our parent surveys and parent satisfaction and parent feedback is such a big thing. And then parents actually showing up to events. What percentage of parents show up to parent-teacher conferences? What percentage of parents show up to showcases? Who's at Meet the Teacher night? So I think all of those touch points are really important to see are parents showing up? Are we making it a space that they want to show up?
Great. My last question, this is more of advice for people. Data points are flying at everyone all day long, and sometimes people feel a bit paralyzed in telling the story, right? How would you use data to tell a very compelling story for whatever your reality actually is?
I think it starts with what your mission is. So your data should be mission driven. So our school was started by a mother with autism, and so our parent satisfaction is one of our most important things because it was created for parents by parents. And then student engagement is really important to us because that's what our parents were constantly mentioning to us in interviews and things like that. So it's looking at your mission, looking at what matters, and measuring your mission.
Yeah, as a parent, I've had to reframe how I do data. So my eldest son is on the autism spectrum, and his experience in public schools is not great, and they didn't serve him the way they needed to. And so we have him in a private program, but I think it often redounds to his metrics for success a little bit different than the other students' metrics for success. And it's so important that as educators, we understand the nuances within data to be able to understand what success actually looks like for kiddos who may not be necessarily your typical. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing at your school. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a good evening. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That wasn't so painful, was it?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
You were great.
Good. Love that.
Please join us in celebrating our winners, Diana Diaz and Claire Piper from Arizona Autism Schools.